The millionaire laughed so hard that tears filled his eyes. He pointed at the old steel safe and said casually, "I'll give you $100 million if you can open it." The janitor didn't laugh. He didn't even look at the safe. Instead, he whispered something so quiet that the room fell completely silent. And in that moment, the billionaire realized this was not a joke anymore. The janitor's name was Elias Gray, though almost no one ever used it. In the towering glass skyscraper of Harrington Global, he was simply the cleaner. The man who pushed a cart of mops and chemicals through marble hallways while billion-dollar deals were signed behind closed doors. Elias arrived every night at 11:47 p.m. exactly. He worked slowly, carefully, as if every corner of the building mattered. He wiped fingerprints from doors no one noticed. He polished floors people walked across without looking down. And he listened. He listened to executives argue. He listened to lawyers whisper. He listened to secrets echo through empty rooms. No one ever noticed him because no one ever tried to. Except Victor Harrington, the billionaire CEO himself. Victor was known for his sharp mind and sharper tongue. He believed intelligence had a look, tailored suits, confident posture, expensive watches. Elias had none of those. He wore worn gloves, old boots, and eyes that carried stories no one bothered to read. One night, after a celebration party for a massive corporate victory, Victor stayed late, slightly drunk on success and wine. His executives laughed loudly, bragging about power and money. Victor noticed Elias standing quietly near the wall, waiting for them to leave so he could clean. With a smirk, Victor pointed at the massive steel safe built into the wall behind him, a legendary vault rumored to hold original company documents, encryption codes, and untold wealth. "You see that safe?" Victor said loudly. "No one on earth can open it without my authorization." Then he laughed and added, "I'll give you $100 million if you can open it." The room erupted in laughter. Elias looked up slowly. This was the moment that changed everything. The silence in the room was heavy. The executives exchanged confused looks. Victor straightened his posture, his smile fading. "What did you say?" Victor asked. Elias met his eyes for the first time. "I said the safe was never your biggest risk," Elias replied calmly. "The people who built it were." Victor scoffed. "You're a janitor." Elias nodded. "And before that, I was a systems architect." That was when the room truly froze. Elias explained, slowly, carefully, that 20 years ago, he had helped design a financial encryption framework for Harrington Global under a different company name. He had warned the board back then about a flaw, a hidden vulnerability that could allow internal theft over time. No one listened. Instead, Elias was laid off during a cost-cutting purge. His wife became ill soon after. Medical bills consumed everything. Pride faded. Survival took over. So he became a janitor. In the same building that ignored him. For years, Elias watched quietly as small amounts vanished from company accounts. Not enough to trigger alarms. Not enough to cause panic. But enough to slowly drain hundreds of millions. "It wasn't hackers," Elias said. "It was your own executives." Victor's face turned pale. Elias walked toward the safe, not to open it, but to rest his hand against the wall beside it. "The safe doesn't protect your wealth," he continued. "It protects your illusion of control." Victor demanded proof. Elias pulled a folded piece of paper from his pocket, handwritten notes, transaction patterns, names, dates. Years of quiet observation. The room collapsed into chaos. By morning, federal investigators were involved. Executives were arrested. Accounts were frozen. The truth spilled out. Victor Harrington lost nearly everything, but for the first time, he understood why. Weeks later, Victor invited Elias back, not as a janitor, but as a partner. "I promised you $100 million, Victor said quietly. Elias shook his head. "I don't want your money," he replied. "I want you to remember that intelligence doesn't wear a uniform." Victor did. Elias became the architect who saved the company, not by opening a safe, but by opening eyes.